Good evening and welcome to part 2 of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Got on my new shirt, y'all, that says rub some dirt on it. And that I have done. I'm filthy, okay? Believe me, it's some dirt on this shirt. And my clothes and everything else. Okay, y'all, to recap this potato thing. Okay. I had decided, because I had always, for the past 5 years, been very unsuccessful at growing potatoes. Anytime I grew them, the biggest I would get would be probably this size here. Not even that big. Most of them would be that size. And it wouldn't be that many. So I knew it was something I was doing wrong. So then this year, I said, okay, I'm going to try something new. Okay, the first thing I tried new a few years ago was I planted potatoes the Irish way. I'm going to revisit that this year simply because, and I have some potato seeding now to do that with in September. And the only reason I'm revisiting that is because when I did it the first time, I used potatoes that I had seeded from, I think it was from the store or whatever. But the potatoes that I'm doing now are actual seed potatoes. So I'm going to try those the Irish way, just to give it that method a second chance. And what Irish way is when you plant in the fall and then you get your harvest earlier in the summer. You can harvest probably around June, May, whatever. They get an earlier start and they have a chance over the winter to develop roots under the ground, and then the plant will come up in the spring. That's how they do it in Ireland. And so a lot of people in America have adopted that method. A lot of farmers, a lot of homesteaders have adopted that method, and it has worked well. So a lot of you guys have said you're going to try the Irish way too, or do it the Irish way if you've already done it. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I have 8 potatoes set aside just for that. Okay, now, up to date. Okay, so other than that, I have always just planted potatoes in the container, and I'd never had much luck, but I never had ordered seed potatoes, and I figured that's what was missing. So I ordered seed potatoes this year. I bought some from Menards, and I planted those up front. That was back in March. That was almost a disaster. I got a few little ones. They were no better than what I got before. So I'm like, oh man, seed potatoes, and I'm still not able to do this correctly. But I made 2 vital mistakes that I know that I made. And so, first of all, when I planted in that front bed, I was supposed to dig that soil and loosen it. Because I'm thinking, they said that when you plant the root stout, because that's what I did up front. I planted the root stout method. The root stout method is when all you do is throw the potatoes on the ground and you cover them with the hay. I literally meant that's what it meant. No, the ground that you throw the potatoes on has to be loose. It has to be a loose soil that you have either tilled or dug up just to loosen the soil. I threw it on hard brick soil, okay? The soil was as hard as a brick. I just put the potato there and I threw the hay over it. Nothing happened. I got a few small potatoes, but nothing major happened. Had I dug that soil up, I probably would have gotten potatoes, okay? Then, I didn't fertilize correctly. I fertilized with my normal stuff. I always use blood meal, bone meal, perlite, chicken manure, and earthworm castings. Well, potatoes like sulfur. I did not know that. I found that out midsummer when I saw Diana's potatoes that were the size of my head, okay? And I'm happy for her. Girl, send me some. Okay, but anyway, let me stop. Anyway, I found out potatoes like sulfur. And so if you do not have that sulfur, and then they also like, I think, potassium. I'm going to study over the winter, but I do know sulfur is one. You have to have that sulfur. I did not put any sulfur other than, actually, whatever sulfur was in the amendments, it wasn't enough. It needs straight sulfur. So, I mean, the sulfur that's for potatoes, potash, you can get potash, which has mostly sulfur. You can get sulfur itself, all that. It's a lot of amendments out there, and it's expensive. But since it'll be just for potatoes, I'm going to buy a bag over the winter so that next year, first of all, my Irish ways will get a dose of sulfur in the spring. I'm not going to do anything to them in the fall. You don't do anything. You want those potatoes to just set. You don't want to amend the soil or anything, because in the winter they're just going to be setting under the ground. They're going to be setting root. So, you don't fertilize at that point, because the tops may come up if it's warm enough and whatnot. So you just put those potatoes under there and leave them be until early spring. And once early spring come and that soil unthaws and everything, then you might want to hit it with some fertilizer in early March or something like that. Then your plants will start coming up between the end of April, depending on how warm your climate is. I'm in zone 6, so my tops didn't come up this year until May. It was like mid-May when my plants emerged from the soil, which made me very happy because I didn't think they were going to do that, okay? Anyway, once that happens, then you really start your fertilization regimen with them. And I'm almost certain that next year I'm going to have potatoes, award-winning potatoes, okay? Finally. Okay, but I have to admit, okay, these here, I did plant the roof stout method in this back bed in the keyhole garden. Now, they had two things going for them, the potatoes themselves, and I really didn't know how they were going to turn out or how they were going to be. The first thing is the fact that they were in the keyhole garden. Remember, you're feeding your food scraps into the compost bin in the middle. So the potatoes were getting nutrients that way. I doubt if they were getting sulfur, but they were at least getting those nutrients. That soil is so fertile because of that. I had, when I did get that spade and started digging, I dug up more worms than I did potatoes in totality. It was so many worms in there, I was amazed. I was like, wow, I need to be collecting these right now. But anyway, that let me know the worms, the microbes, the little bugs that I saw, that bee hanging around, all that let me know that that's some good soil. And I did cover it back with the hay once I was done. And I brought the plant scraps in here because I don't want an animal discovering that garden, because so far nothing has ever bothered it. And I've got some nice sized peppers up in there right now that I do not want bothered, okay? And I've got a patty pan squash coming in there, and I have the cucumber is coming in my front bed. But anyway, yeah, I didn't want to leave those plant things out there, because the animals would have seen that, and then they would have discovered the garden, and it would have turned into a big snowball effect for me. I'm hearing noises. Okay, anyway, and this is going to go a little bit, y'all. I'm going to try to keep this at 20 minutes. Okay, so this is the batch that I brought in from the keyhole garden. Oh, okay, so I told y'all about the sulfur. So basically that's what I'm going to do next year. And also I'm going to be building a new garden bed, and I'm calling all my garden buddies. Okay, y'all know I'm a senior now. I'm 60. And y'all know my health is shot, okay? I don't know how much longer I got, but I'm going to keep pushing until God calls me home. And I hope home is up yonder in the upper room, okay? But anyway, I need help. I want to build where that front garden bed is, which you will see in a few minutes when I show you my corn that's coming in. I want to build a cinder block garden bed. I'm on a 10-pound weight restriction, and cinder blocks are heavy. I need some help. So anybody, I'm soliciting all my buddies out there, gardening buddies or anybody, come on and help me get that cinder block garden bed built. All I'm gonna be buying is, normally it would take 12 cinder blocks to build a cinder block garden bed, but I don't want to bend because that's hard on me. So I'm gonna stack them 2 high instead of 1, because 1 high is enough. But if I stack it 2 high, that's going to allow me to be able to stand and be able to do my gardening. And that's where I plan to put my potatoes next year, in that. And I also plan to put probably a couple of other things, because you know cinder blocks have those holes on the side. You can put anything, any plant in those holes. Another thing I'm requesting too, if you get any plastic bottles, like for instance Gatorade bottles, milk jugs, anything plastic, save them for me. And you don't have to let them stack up in your house or anything like that. Just once you get a number of them, think of me, bring them by. Most of y'all know where I live, my locals. Y'all know where I live. Bring them by, and you can put them right beside the greenhouse. Just set them there, and then I'll get them from there, and I'll probably end up storing them inside of the greenhouse. What those bottles are going to be for is the cinder block garden bed. What you do, because people think you have to go out and buy all this dirt, and a lot of people do that, you know, and that's fine because it's going to give you some good soil. But you could take a shortcut. What you can do is load the beds with bottles, logs, tree, not tree, but leaves, grass clippings, all that. You can put any type of matter in there to build it up. And then lots of times you can get away with just putting 1 to 2 bags of soil at the top. A plant, the roots only need an inch, of dirt to grow, because roots usually go down and they're in search of the water and the moisture and all that and the nutrients. Well, they're going to find nutrients, not in the plastic, but they're going to find nutrients in the wood chips, the wood, the sticks, the leaves. They'll find their nitrogen in the leaves, and in the grass clippings, that's the nitrogen. And then they'll find the phosphorus in anything brown. So even if you put paper in there, cardboard, twigs, all that stuff, those are nutrients that they can get to. And then you have your dirt at the top. And of course you amend your soil with those amendments, those same amendments, as well as other amendments, and it'll make a good garden bed. But anyway, so anyway, that I'm asking that, and I'm saving mine too. I have a lot of bottles in there already, but I'm gonna need more. And then also, I'm changing my method of gardening next year. It was a challenge this year simply because we ended up with a hot summer, which is rare in Michigan. Usually we hit no higher than the mid 80s, but this year, in fact, it's hell Celsius right now, okay? It's hot. And because of that, we ended up with slugs. Many of us have never seen a slug. I've never seen one. And boy, when I say the infestation. So that put me back because they were eating my plants. I ended up having to put most of my plants out. So they're up. I got them up on the table, up on the picnic table. I got them in the garden bed, and I keep my garden tables covered with a panel. Then I've got some out altogether, and fortunately, no animal has gotten a hold to them, except that squirrel yesterday up front. So I've been blessed. God has protected my plants. But anyway, I had to move most of the stuff out of here because of the infestation. Finally, I found out that beer is what will kill them, but that even took a while because I had so many slugs. And then my plants, it was like starting over at the end of June. So whereas my plants went out in April, that was null and void, because had I put those plants out in June, then I guess, no, I wouldn't have been okay. I probably wouldn't have had a garden at all. But thank God I put them out early enough to where I was able to, it took me a month to get those slugs under control. And so after that, then my plants had to regrow, the leaves had to come back, all that. So it has been a challenge this year. So I'm just now starting to get harvest. I'm getting ground cherries, my green beans. I've only gotten a half bag thus far, so I'm planting more. I seeded some yesterday. I seeded 8 more plants. I have 10 that I planted, and they're pole beans, and they're wrapped around the cherry trees, but they're flowering now. I planted some yesterday, and I'm planting some on tomorrow. I've got the seed soaking right here. I'm planting 8 more plants, and these are going, in the keyhole garden where the potatoes were. I don't know if, wait, hold on. Oops. How about phone? Okay, sorry y'all. Here they are. These are the seeds. So I've got 2 squash seeds in soak and some green bean seeds in soak. And I just learned that today. When I didn't get those seed germinations and I had to do them yesterday with some newer seeds, I should have been soaking the seeds. Okay, so my new method, because of the slugs and everything, is I'm going to be planting in tubs here in the greenhouse. So I've got this one tub, and I think I have a couple of more. I have to clear out my late mother's things, and I think it's 2 more tubs in the shed. So I'll be drilling holes in the bottom and sides, and so I'm going to be using bottles for these too, to fill these up. And I will be able to do much better using the tubs. I almost did it again, y'all. I caught the phone this time. I'll be able to do a lot better planting in the tubs as opposed to the crates. I'll be able to get more into the tubs. So whatever plant, like for instance, green beans, I can use 1 tub for just green beans, 1 tub for just squash, 1 tub for whatever I'm planting. Tomatoes, that type of thing. And there's room in the greenhouse, and I'll use the crates. I'll flip the crates over. And then when I flip the crates over, I can stack my tub on top of the crate, and that way it's like a table. I won't have to bend. Another thing too is I can buy those grow bags that are the same size. I use the I think 10 gallon for the crates. They have them as high as 25 gallon. So I can buy the 25 gallon grow bags to line the tubs with, just like I did the crates. And I believe I will do a lot better, and I won't have to deal with the slug problem either. Because although they can climb upside the crate, they can't climb upside the tub. Okay, so, all right, so let's get to the potatoes, and then, because we're at 16 minutes, and then I wanted to do a quick little garden tour. So what I'm planting, this is what I'm planting tomorrow, some yellow waxes, and they're bush beans. Although I'm not thrilled about my bush beans this year, I'm still gonna do these in the keyhole garden. I'll probably get a good harvest. I'm also planting, the squash is the golden zucchini that I'm planting. I've got time for both of those to put them out there, and they'll go until the first frost. And then I'll be putting my onion either out there or in that, no, I'm not putting them in that front garden bed because there's not enough soil. I'll probably put my onion seeds and my garlic in that same spot this fall after I harvest my green beans and in October, and harvest my squash hopefully in October. And our first frost is scheduled for the 15th of October, but I really don't think we'll get it then because we had such a hot summer. We'll see. If we do, it'll kill off those plants. I'll pull them up, and then I can get those onions in, and I'll be able to get my garlic bulbs in. Okay, so with that said, okay, I went on and kept the selenium potatoes. I am going to throw them away, but I wanted to count them towards the harvest because it is a potato. So we're going to put those right here in this thing. 1, 2. Okay, we're doing the count. Okay, 3, 4. I'm setting them on the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And digging, I did scab some. Whenever you scab a potato, you have to eat it right. Well, you don't have to eat it right away, but it won't store well, so you have to make sure you eat it quickly. Here's another one that's scabbed, and that came from when I pulled it off the root. Okay, back to the count. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 2, 4, 6, 8, 40, 2, 4. Okay, so in this one, I got 44 potatoes. I planted only 8 potatoes. I'm almost certain of that. Because that's all I ordered was 8 potatoes from Fedco. And believe me, I'm tripling that this year. This year, because I'll be ordering. I'll let y'all know when they send me my notice that they're up for ordering. So I'll be ordering probably in August sometime. I'll get my seed potatoes ordered and they'll be delivered next April. And I'm ordering a lot more. Okay, this is another selenium. Now these are, remember when I went off camera because I had to go get the, oops. Of course, I just dropped every one in my seed starting mix. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I had to go get the spade because I knew that there was probably some more potatoes under there, and there's probably still some more under there, but I got tired, so, and I've learned to stop. When I feel that I'm tired and can't go no further, I don't push it, I stop. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and all these are good. None of them has selenium. 3, 4, hold on, I'm doing the small ones first. 5, 6, 7, and then we have bigger ones. 8, 9, 10, and my biggest were right at my compost, and I figured that it didn't surprise me. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is 11, 12, 13, 14. So I had 44 in the first batch. That's 56 total. So 8 potatoes produce 56 potatoes. That is not bad. Now, to save your potatoes, you have to let them cure. And letting them cure means you let them set at least 2 weeks, because when they cure, like garlic, they can store for up to a year without getting rotting out. Now, when you get store-bought potatoes and they get rotten after a month or whatever, that's because, number one, they never get cured, and number two, they're full of, whatever, the pesticides and all that. So, but when you plant potatoes and you grow them yourself, if you cure them for 2 weeks, then they can store up to a year. And a lot of people use, in fact, I'm gonna use a few of these and I'm gonna seed them over. After I cure them, I'm gonna seed them over, and that's gonna give me free potatoes for next year that I might just throw into a container or something like that. A lot of people save their organic potatoes as seed potatoes. Okay, so this isn't a bad haul, y'all. Not at all. In fact, let me pour these in with this. I have a few that are scabbed over. I'll go over them after the 2-week period. For now, you just let them be. You just let them be. I'm gonna get, oh, here's a selenium one, so I need to get that one out. So I lost one. So really, although I got that many potatoes, I lost at least 5 or 6 due to the selenium, which is a poison. So that's not bad. This is not bad, y'all. So I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. God let me get some potatoes, because I'm telling you, I didn't think I was getting any, considering my disastrous year and me not knowing what I was doing in the process. Okay, y'all, so let's see, we're already at 23 minutes. I'm sorry this is going so long. Okay, so let me do the garden tour real quick. Okay, this is the greenhouse, and look at all the dirt, y'all. Okay, I cannot see because the camera is turned around. I'm just doing a quick garden tour so y'all know that I'm planting the new seeds tomorrow. Let me put this back on my table so they don't get knocked over. Those will be going into the keyhole garden. These are the seeds that I planted. I did some yesterday, and then last week I did some cabbage, I did some broccoli, I did some and some kohlrabi. Those are my cold crops, and those have already emerged from the soil. And so the rest of the seeds will emerge sometime this week. Okay, and that's for my fall garden, you guys. Some of those will be planted in containers, and some will go into the keyhole garden. This is either cantaloupe or honeydew. I have both cantaloupes and honeydew on the vine right now, and I'm not going to waste time trying to find them all, but I do have cantaloupe and honeydew coming. And the plant, it runs from this heart trellis all the way around. Okay, I've been getting, oh, I got a bloom. I don't know what this is, y'all, but there it is. That's one of my flowers. I've been getting cherry tomatoes for the past month and a half, and here's one to pick right now. Let's get him. In fact, I'm finna eat them. Oh, there's some more ready back there too. I'll get them later. But I've been getting cherry tomato. I have San Marzanos. I lost my first set of San Marzanos. I messed up, and so I refertilized. I've got new leaves, and I have some tomatoes on there somewhere. I saw them yesterday. Let's see. This is a squash, y'all, and I have been eating squash leaves and squash flowers, but I stopped and decided to let the squash in here take off. And look at here, y'all. I got a squash, and I self-pollinated it yesterday, and I see a new female coming, so I'm gonna self-pollinate that because I do want some yellow squash before the end of the season. I should have had some, but due to the slugs, it just ate up everything. I've been getting ground cherries galore. This is my pineapple ground cherry plant right here, and I harvested yesterday, and I got some more coming, and I have flowers. My peanut plant is doing good. It's almost time to harvest that. It has already bloomed, and I still have blooms coming, so I'm gonna just let that go until the peanut plant dies back. They're just like potatoes. Once the plant dies back, you go underneath and you dig up your peanuts. I've been harvesting Swiss chard all summer, and I've been harvesting greens. I've done 2 harvests of my greens, and as you can see, I just harvested last week, and they have already come back. Okay, that's a ground cherry back there, and I also have a gooseberry plant that I was getting ready to get rid of, and then it produced a gooseberry. This is my Cherokee purple tomatoes. I have flowers. I have 2 that have set thus far, and I have more that are getting ready to set. And Cherokee purple are usually later in the season, so I'm just waiting on them to set, and I still have more flowers. This one is the green zebra. I've harvested 5 of these thus far. In fact, they're in the fridge, and I have some new ones coming on. There's 2 right there. I don't know if you see them right there. Okay, my okra wasn't doing nothing, and it has finally taken off. This is my white okra. I ordered these seeds from Africa, so it looks like I'll get to taste a white okra this year. Okay, this is the green plant. As you can see, the green beans, they're wrapped all around the cherry tree, so I'm gonna just leave them. And once I start seeing green beans, because it is starting to blossom for me, I should be seeing green beans within the next week or 2. Yep. And then my strawberry plants with ham. So I just fertilized this one in hopes of maybe getting some white pines this year. I may or may not. But look at all the extra ones I got. And then I have a whole big thing over here. And this is for my Facebook people. There are some white pines there, some right there. That's the Ozark. And then I have the pink. I just stopped harvesting a few weeks ago, and I trimmed it. My mojito mint has pretty much bit the dust. I don't know why, but it's not doing good. It's looking worse than it was when I first got it. Okay. Ooh, that tomato wasn't ready, y'all. Wow. But my other mint, my rosemary, I got French tarragon up front, and I've got French tarragon in here. I've been cutting on that every week because I have to stop by the end of August and put that French tarragon to sleep. You can't cut it no more after that if you want it to come back next year. And that plant costs too much. I just harvested a cucumber after it got knocked off the vine. Oh, and this is the wood chipping. So I still have this area back here to do. But I got this right here thus far, and I still have wood chips left. I just need to get some more weed mat. So this whole little area back there is going to be wood chipped after I get it covered. So I've got a Crenshaw melon coming on there somewhere. And then this is the cucumber plant, one of them. And I've got cucumbers coming on this one. I've already harvested one. And I'm making that Georgia cracker salad, and I'm going to use it in that this evening. But there's one right there. And I saw another one. I think it's up here somewhere. I decided to use my clothesline as a trellis. Okay, now, y'all already saw the keyhole garden, and I am going to dig it some more, because once I plant those seeds tomorrow, I'm sowing those seeds right in here. Once I sow those seeds, then I will get this straightened out. But I threw most of that hay in there. The rest of it is still here on the wood chips. It'll break down. It doesn't matter. That's the nice part about wood chips. Anything you throw on it will break down. Okay, so I have cucumber over there. I have 2 honeyberry plants. I have peppers. In fact, here's 2 right here, California Wonder. I have a patty pan coming over there. I don't know what this plant is right here, to tell you the truth. It might have been a pepper. Or was this a potato? No, that's a pepper. Okay, that's one the slug had eaten and I put it out there. Let's see. Then we've got over there some sweet banana peppers, some arugula, I believe, not arugula, marjoram. Oh, I gotta uncover my asparagus. That did well. And my cucumber over there did well. Okay, let's cut through the trail here to the front garden. And all this, I'm doing my cleanup this week. I'm waiting till it cools off. I gotta clean up this whole backyard, y'all, so excuse it. This is where I'm gonna be putting the cinder block bed. This one will be eliminated because it's not that high, all that bending, and the soil never stays. I filled the soil up to the brim this year, and as you can see, it's back down to nothing. So I'm eliminating this bed. I mean, it served its purpose, but I'm putting the cinder block bed in there, and I want to take it from the end of that fence all the way down to this flower right here. I want it to be big. Okay, I ended up, some of my squash seeds accidentally had a pumpkin in it, so there it is. It's the great pumpkin. I decided to go on and let it grow. I have a patty pan coming over there. He's growing by the day. And I think there's a new one coming along on there too. Yep, but it's doing good. My corn is doing good. It got its tassels. Even my messed up ones are starting to tassel. When you see the silk, that means the corn, it has pollinated and the corn is developing in there. So I have silk on many of them. A few of them don't have silk yet, but I've been seeing bees and everything else, and we've been getting the rain. So I expect my corn to do well. Over here, I've got the crowder peas. I just harvested some of them yesterday, but I've got more on there. I'm waiting on them to fill out. And then this is my white cream crowder peas. So these are white. So I have a lot on here, and I'm waiting on those to fill out. Okay. Up front, I'm not going to take you up front, but up front I have some sweet potatoes that I planted about a month ago, and they're doing really good. These are my eggplants. I haven't gotten any yet, but I've got plenty of blooms, and they've grown big, so I'm gonna see. I'm just waiting on an eggplant. Oh, there's one right there, I think. Yes, yeah, I got one coming. Yep, so they're getting pollinated. This table is broke again, and then the table down there is broke. So hopefully it'll survive until my peppers are ready. This is my table for my bush beans, green beans. I did a little harvest yesterday, but this thing has not produced as well as I would have liked. It's producing, I see more flowers in it, but it's just not doing like how my pole beans do. And so with me planting all these extra green bean plants, I should catch up with what I should be having now with my green beans. I stuck a hot pepper plant in here to keep the animals away, and it has worked. But in the meantime, my sweet peppers are coming along. I won't tell you all the varieties because I can't remember. Oh, a purple bell is coming. Let's see. I got sweet bananas coming. I think this is a Jimmy Nardello. This is a Gypsy Sweet. That's a nice size there. I'm just waiting on it to turn red. I got some cherry peppers coming. Oh, there's one. Okay, so that's 2 cherry peppers. 3 cherry peppers. There's one, and here's a 4th one right here. Okay. We got some more Jimmy Nardellos, I think. And then down here, I don't even know what these peppers are, but it's loaded. It's about 7 peppers on there. So I'll get those covered later. And then over here, my basil. And then these are giant Marconi, and I call them giant macaroni peppers. And then those are my lunchbox. Those are ready. They don't get big, but I'm waiting on them to turn red. Okay, so that's it for up here. So we will go on the side because I showed you the wood chipping. And then I got here, went under the bench. This is what's left that will do the back. This, I'm gonna remove the rocks, get that covered with tarp, get all these weeds pulled up, cover it with tarp, and then I'll put the rocks back. And that should take care of that. Then I can have some Pontiac Pride again, okay? And I'm gonna be knocking this down too. I stuck a tomato plant here because I didn't have nowhere else to put it. And wouldn't you know, there's some tomatoes on it. Let's see, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look at there. Pluck, harvest. Okay, and then up front, like I said, I've got my, right there, I can't zoom in, but those are the sweet potatoes. All right, you guys, so that's it for the tour for my Facebook peoples. And excuse the mess, but by this weekend, this will all be cleaned and ready to go. I gotta wash the furniture and all that stuff. And then I'm doing a workshop on it'll be sometime this month. I mean, sometime in August. I'm doing a keyhole garden workshop to explain the concept, and they'll see mine. And if anybody wants to start one, they can at some point. Okay, so, all right, I've been on here long enough. I'm at almost 40 minutes. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I will talk to you guys later. And may God bless you all. Thank you, Jesus, for the harvest. For the harvest. Yes. So once I make that Georgia cracker salad, tomorrow's episode, I'll be telling y'all about it, about how it tasted. And what is it in this greenhouse? It's still 80 degrees in here. And the sun hasn't even set yet. It's starting to set. Woo! I'm going to get in there and cut on that air. So I will talk to you guys later. And may God bless you all. Bye-bye.